Usoro, Global TV News.
Many thanks to you, Ubang. The People's Democratic Party, PDP, has affirmed former President Goodluck Jonathan as its presidential candidate for the 2027 general election. The decision was announced following a special national convention of the party held in Abuja. Again, over to political correspondent Ubang Usoro.
The PDP said it had fulfilled all legal requirements for its special national convention and had secured a venue in Abuja for the exercise. However, the party alleged that the management of the event center cancelled the booking after receiving threats from the Federal Capital Territory Administration regarding the use of the facility for the convention.
We were contacted by the management of A-Class to say that FCT Minister Muti has said that they should cancel the contract between us and them. We know it's wrong.
At the meeting, former President Goodluck Jonathan was unanimously affirmed as the PDP's presidential candidate and flag bearer for the 2027 presidential election. The party condemned what it described as intimidation and political oppression by government officials, warning that such actions could undermine Nigeria's democratic progress. The PDP also called on President Bola Tinubu to take steps to reduce political tensions.
We had paid for an A-Class event center.
Party leaders expressed confidence that the PDP remains united and prepared for the 2027 elections, pledging to mobilize supporters nationwide in pursuit of electoral victory. Ubang Usoro, Global TV News.
The Kebbi State Council of the Nigeria Labour Congress has congratulated Governor Nasiru Idris and the people of the state on the administration's third anniversary, describing the period as eventful and impactful. In a statement issued by the state NLC chairman Murtala Usman, the Labour Union commended the governor for what he described as remarkable achievements across key sectors of the state's economy. Usman noted that the governor's administration has recorded significant progress in infrastructure, education, healthcare, and workers' welfare since assuming office 3 years ago. And now to health matters. A cholera outbreak has resulted in the death of at least 37 people in Borno State. That's according to the data from the state government. The Executive Secretary of Borno State Contributory Healthcare Management Agency, Dr. Saleh Kaza, stated that more than 3,000 cholera cases have been recorded across 7 local government areas of the states in May. Kaza, in a statement, said the cases were recorded between May 1st and May 29th, following the confirmation of the first infection earlier in the month. This is Global Television, and tonight you are watching the broadcast of News Prime. The rest of the news continues after this weather forecast, plus business, foreign, and sports stories for you. Please do stay with us.
The weather system currently positioned over the northeastern state is expected to continue its southward propagation by Monday morning through the north-central region and eventually towards parts of the southwest and the coastal cities, maintaining the potential for thunderstorms and rainfall along its paths. Areas likely to be affected by this storm include southern Borno, Adamawa, Taraba, Gombe, Bauchi, Kaduna, the Federal Capital Territory, Nasarawa, parts of Niger, Kogi, and Benue State, and making an exit through Oyo, Lagos, and some parts of the coastal cities. This morning weather is nothing compared to what we are expecting ahead during the afternoon into evening hours. A wide spread of thunderstorms and rains are likely across cities within the country. So Monday is going to be a wet day. Always keep an umbrella handy and be weather ready. I am Akani Samarda, and I'll see you again.
Well, thank you for staying with us. Let's now continue the second part of this broadcast with business. When Nigeria's non-oil trade with the United Arab Emirates has risen to $5 billion in 2025 from $4.3 billion recorded in 2024 as both countries intentionally intensify efforts to deepen economic and diplomatic relations. The developments came as the UAE announced plans to open the first Abu Dhabi bank in Lagos and disclosing that Etihad Airways would commence flight operations to Abuja this year. The UAE ambassador to Nigeria, Salem Said Al-Shamal, disclosed this during a visit to the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Bianca Odumegu Ojukwu. The escalation of conflicts in the Middle East and the Gulf region is contributing to the volatility in global feed, energy, and fertilizer markets, with implications for smallholder farmers and rural communities worldwide. That's according to Malcolm Usman, an expert in global food chain. Usman said the Middle East crisis is squeezing the global food supply by disrupting maritime trade routes, spiking energy costs, as well as restricting vital fertilizer exports as economic shocks threaten to push over 45 million more people worldwide into acute hunger. The Gulf region is in a linchpin for global agriculture, supporting critical components for nitrogen fertilizers, including urea, ammonia, and sulfur. The Lagos State government has recorded 21,603 planning permit applications within 10 months, a development it attributed to improved compliance with physical planning regulations and growing public confidence in the state's approval process. Commissioner for Physical Planning and Urban Development, Dr. Abiodun Olumide, disclosed these during the 2026 ministerial press briefing at Alausa in Ikeja. Olumide also said the Lagos State Physical Planning Permit Authority received more than 21,000 applications between June last year and March this year. Let's go to the foreign scene now. Nigerians living in the Philippines and Cambodia have threatened to initiate legal action against the federal government unless a fresh directive requiring them to pay compulsory monthly and annual dues is withdrawn. In a petition to the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Bianca Odumegu Ojukwu, the diaspora group condemned a public notice it said was issued by the Nigerian embassy in Manila, Philippines. The petitioners, through their consortium of senior lawyers led by Chief Chukwuma Owanchukwu, alleged that the embassy, in a notice dated May 20, had stated that it would deny consular-related services to Nigerians who fail to register with the Nigerians in Diaspora Organization, Philippines, and pay the required dues. At least 3,108 Nigerians have returned home from Sudan since civil war erupted in the North African country in August 2023. The figure is based on verified evacuation records from the federal government and the International Organization for Migration, highlighting one of Nigeria's largest emergency repatriation exercises in recent years. Data from the Nigerian Diaspora Commission, the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, and IOM Nigeria showed that the return operation was initially executed through an emergency government-led evacuation in the early weeks of the conflict before transitioning into a phased humanitarian return program coordinated by the International Organization for Migration. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says he has instructed the Israeli military to expand the maneuver in Lebanon after the occupation of the strategic Beaufort Castle, which he says marks a dramatic change in Israel's invasion of the country. Lebanese Prime Minister Nawaf Salam has accused Israel of pursuing what he has described as a scorched earth policy as Israeli forces expand their ground invasion. And now let's go to sports. South Africa's national football team has postponed its departure for the FIFA World Cup after visa challenges disrupted travel arrangements for several players and officials. The team had been scheduled to leave Johannesburg on Sunday for a training camp in Mexico ahead of the tournament, but the trip was delayed after multiple members of the delegation failed to secure visas in time. In a statement, the South African Football Association, SAFA, confirmed that it was facing difficulties obtaining travel documents for some players and team officials. The association also said efforts were ongoing to resolve the issue and ensure the squad departs for Mexico City as soon as possible. Arsenal defender Gabriel Magalhaes has spoken about his pain at missing crucial penalty as they lost to Paris Saint-Germain PSG in Saturday's Champions League final. The Gunners held on for much of the game following Kai Havertz's early opener. However, Ousmane drew PSG level from the penalty spot after Christian Mosquera field Kechiva Raskila. Alexei Iwobi and Samuel Chukwueze are running for Fulham's goal award. Fulham listed 15 goals for the individual accolade. Versatile midfielder Iwobi earned double nominations. As we end Global TV News Prime tonight, let's take another look at some of our big stories for you. President Bola Tinubu has approved the recruitment of 1,000 forest guards for Oyo State and ordered the deployment of a specialized rescue team following the abduction of pupils and teachers from schools in Orire local government area of the state. In business, the escalation of conflicts in the Middle East and Gulf region is contributing to volatility in global food, energy, and fertilizer markets with implications for smallholder farmers and rural communities worldwide. On the foreign scene, Nigerians living in the Philippines and Cambodia have threatened to initiate legal action against the federal government unless a fresh directive requiring them to pay compulsory monthly and annual dues is withdrawn. And finally, in sports tonight, we told you South Africa's national football team has postponed its departure for the FIFA World Cup after visa challenges disrupted travel arrangements for several players and team officials. And that's it on News Prime here tonight. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. As always, we encourage you to subscribe, interact, and engage with us across all social media platforms using our Global TV NG, as well as other handles as you now see on your screen. On behalf of my colleagues who have made tonight's news broadcast possible, I am Wiyang Mofwebe saying a big thank you to you and wishing you the best of the week ahead.